So we're about to get into it, but before I get into it, I do want to mention that in this section I will be talking about sexual assault. So if you want to skip that, trigger warning, skip this part. So the new show Beef on Netflix, it's basically a show about these two people that get into a road rage incident and they just let that consume their lives. We'll get into it in just a second, but it does have a predominantly Asian American cast as well as writers, directors, and producers. The show has received nothing but critical acclaim, but sadly right now the success of the show has been overshadowed recently by recently surfaced comments by one of the cast members. Back in 2014, David Choe shared a very distasteful story detailing how he sexually assaulted a massage therapist. He apologized shortly after, saying that the comments were satirical and an extension of his art. And it reflected bad storytelling and in no way represented his reality. Now, of course, we do not condone joking about something as serious as sexual assault, but right now people are also calling out Ali Wong and Stephen Yoon for not speaking out about it and also allegedly taking part in his casting. So we made note of that, and we'll be keeping an eye out for an update to see if they speak out. However, we'd be remiss not to recognize the cultural significance of the show, and we really want to highlight all the work that was going on behind the scenes because it was a flawlessly written show.
Phenomenal.
It was.
I loved it. I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
Still on episode 3.
It just keeps getting better and better.
It was one of those shows that I couldn't stop watching until I finished, and it was like 3 in the morning. I was like, one more episode. It was phenomenal. But I don't think, like, going to the point of like his comments, I don't think that people of color aren't immune from making mistakes, saying things that they shouldn't say, or saying things as horrible as what he says. But I also don't think that takes away from the success and the importance of this show, Beef. So I think that must be said and recognized also.
Absolutely. And plus, I mean, he was such a minor part.
Yeah, I think he was a minor. From what I've seen so far, and I'm on episode 3, he's in and out. He's not like.
And we want to talk about the cultural significance because I was reading a few things. I was here, like, seeing the response from Asian American people, and they loved it. Like, they were like, oh, well, they were comparing it to Crazy Rich Asians, right? They were like, oh, we love that, sure, but it was also nice to see a different side of an Asian American person.
Right.
Like,
I think oftentimes Asian people in media are portrayed as the model citizen, and in this you get to see a group of angry people.
Yes, we can be mad too.
That's right, everyone.
In a way that you normally don't get to see. So I thought it was like really cool to see representation from a different angle perspective.
Yeah, but that was really cool to see like the full Asian cast. I mean, that really just goes to show you just what we found in that study, right? How they're, doing better in streaming. So I love that, watching that. It's a great show.
Definitely having people behind the scenes too, writers, producers, directors.
Exactly,
That's how you get
exactly.
That's when you get that authenticness of something, and you know, like there's people of color behind the scenes writing this from a true perspective.
Yeah.
So yeah, not just on screen, behind the scenes too.
Yeah.
But while like his comment does need to be addressed, I don't think you should hold, or I don't think his cast members.
That's what I said. I don't think they should be.
Yeah.
There's no reason they need to be held accountable. That's like if someone bad at your job does something, do you have to say something about it? I don't think so.
And we don't. I mean, I also don't know what happened behind closed doors. So maybe he had a whole come to Jesus moment. And he was like, he did some self-reflecting, found Jesus, and apologized to the whole cast before. I mean, I believe he should do it publicly, as aside from saying, like, oh, that's my humor, that's my art. However, like, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, so I'll hold my judgment.
Yeah.
Till later date.
As everyone else should, 'cause they shouldn't take away from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.